Hey everybody, this is going to be the last chapter of this is going to be the last chapter of Genesis that we're going to do. Genesis 49 through 50. So if you got your Bibles, open them up and we're going to begin. So we'll be doing this and then we're going to work on Exodus after this. So well, I'm going to continue the Torah stuff. So anyways, we're going to keep going with this. Let me fix this up. Thank you. Be patient with me. Thank you. This is an art piece done by Michael Silverstone, by the way. I thought it was cool, so I put it as my deal here. So, hope you like it. It's got all of Israel's tribes and their symbols. So, all right. Verses 1 through 7. Chapter 49, verses 1 through 7. Now Jacob called his sons and said, "Gather together that I may tell you what will befall you in the last days. Gather together and hear, you sons of Jacob, and listen to Israel your father. Reuben, you are my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my children. You are hard to bear. You are hardened in your self-will, unstable as water in your insolence. You went up to your father's bed, and then you defiled it. Simeon and Levi are brothers. They committed their injustices from their free choice. Let not my soul enter their council. Let not my honor be united to their assembly. For in their anger they slayed a man, and in their self-will they hamstrung an ox. Cursed be their anger, for it was self-willed, and their wrath, for it was hardened. I will divide them in Jacob and scatter them in Israel." So Reuben, Simeon, and Levi, they all get references to the evils that they committed. Yet a lot of this prophetic word is also going to reflect the character of the tribes of Israel as well. So it's not, some of it's a little bit individual, but it's more prophetic about the tribes of Israel. So it's going to reflect their character a little bit. So keep that in mind. 49 verses 8 through 12. Judah, you are he whom your brothers shall praise. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's sons shall bow down before you. Judah is a lion's cub. From being a shoot, my son, you've grown up. He bows down and sleeps as a lion and a cub. And who shall rouse him? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from his loins, until Shiloh comes. And to him shall be the expectation of the nations, binding his colt to a vine and his donkey's colt to its branch. He will wash his garments in wine, and his clothes were in the blood of grapes. His eyes are gladdened from the wine, and his teeth are whiter than milk. So Judah is called a lion's cub. Brothers will bow down to him. Wasn't this how Joseph's dream went too? Judah has firstborn status, so he's being given prophecy about his tribe being kings of Judah. So we get a little bit of Jewish astrology here too, and constellations. We get the Jewish zodiac. And symbols that will be literally present on the ephod of the high priest's garments. So there's stones that they wear with these constellations on them. Astrology is not always bad. In paganism, the stars, planets, etc. are all gods who are to be worshipped, and they control your destiny. But the reality is that these are, in the Torah, these are messengers and angels from God, and they serve God. So God can and does communicate things to us through the heavens sometimes. God does communicate, for example, that the Messiah will be born through a star appearing in a certain constellation of a certain time. So, and we also get Psalms 19, the heavens proclaim the glory of God. So that psalm is all about Jewish astrology here. And it talks about the horizon divide and the zodiac. And the 12 constellations have a connection to the 12 tribes of Israel, the people of Israel, God's people. So God's people are all part of the whole workings of the cosmos, according to Torah. And it's all people, not just the 12 tribes, because like it's Ephraim and Manasseh also, right? So it's Gentiles as well. So yeah, very interesting. And I don't know what to make of all of it, honestly, but some of it's pretty cool. Stuff that I hope some scholars will really dig deeper into at some point. Because there is some stuff, but there's not as much. Or if there is, I haven't really seen it yet. So Cool stuff, though. So the Messiah prophecy is also found here in verses 10 through 12, and it identifies the Messiah with Judah, a king who reigns until Shiloh comes. And what is Shiloh? It's a city. So a city is to come with this king. We also get cryptic references here to maybe what's the second coming, maybe the first coming, his crucifixion, showing that this Messiah is humble but also royal, washing in the blood of grapes. Is he going to die? All this comes clear in the New Testament, obviously, and Christians, well, we think that it's Jesus. We think Jesus fulfills this. So, yeah, but I think it's cool because Ephraim is given the role of a king, but you also get Judah gets a king, and yeah, what happens later is the unified Israel becomes divided and in a civil war, and it becomes Ephraim and Judah. So yeah, kind of cool, like kind of cool stuff there. So, anyways, we're gonna keep going. Verses 13 through 21. Zebulun shall dwell Zebulun shall dwell by the sea coast. He shall be near a haven for ships, and his border shall adjoin Sidon. So that is ports. That's what's being prophesied there. Israel will have ports. Issachar desired what was good, resting between the inheritances, and seeing his resting place was good and the land was fertile, he set his shoulder to hard work and became a farmer. So we get farming. This tribe is known for their farming, which, yeah, in that time, that's, something, and it really should be in this time period and our time period, that farmers are important. It really should be. Because I know a lot of Americans do not value farm work these days, but it's necessary. But that's a little bit of a tangent. But anyways, Dan shall judge his own people as one of the tribes of Israel. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, a viper lying in ambush by the path, that bites the horse's heels, that its rider may fall backwards, waiting for the Lord's salvation. Nothing gets told good about Dan, unfortunately, for Dan. Dan might have been a nice guy. We don't know. Dan was probably the nicest guy in the world, but his tribe is just not. His tribe is not good about a whole lot of stuff, unfortunately. He even gets written out of Revelation because the tribe is just like, wow, As for Gad, a raider gang shall raid him, but he shall raid them in close pursuit. So I guess they're good at being pirates and raiding raiders back is what the prophecy is about for that tribe of Gad, which is interesting, but, good at being pirates. That's what I wrote here because they kind of are. As for Asher, his food shall be abundant, and he will furnish dainties for rulers. So this tribe will be known for making abundant foods, and it will be so good that the rulers will want them. Like they'll want their food that they make. Naphtali is a spreading stem, bestowing beauty by its produce. So they produce beautiful things for Israel. The tribe of Naphtali does. Verses 20 through 27. Joseph is a grown-up son who is envied. Oh, my youngest son, return to me. They devised evil plans against him and reviled him, and the archers were taking aim at him. But their bows were broken by force, and the sinews of the arms of their hands were enfeebled on account of the hand of the mighty one of Jacob. Thence he who strengthened Israel is from the God of your father, and my God has helped and blessed you, with a blessing from heaven above, and with a blessing of the earth containing everything. By reason of the blessing of breasts in the womb, he made the blessings of your father and mother stronger than the blessings of stable mountains and everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph and on the crown of the brothers he led. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. In the morning he'll still be eating, and in the evening he will provide food. And all these are the 12 sons of Israel. Verses 28 through 33. All these are the 12 sons of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them and blessed them. And he blessed each one of them according to his own blessing. Then he charged them and said to them, I am to be added to my people. Bury me with my fathers in the cave in the field of Ephron the Hittite, opposite Mamre, in the land of Canaan, which Abraham brought from Ephron the Hittite as a possession for a burial place. Then they buried Abraham and Sarah, his wife. There they buried Isaac and Rebekah, his wife, and there I buried Leah. The field and the cave there were purchased from his sons of Heth. Thus, when Jacob finished commanding his sons, he drew his feet up into the bed and breathed his last, and was added to his people. So remember, this is about their descendants and not necessarily entirely of them as individuals. Ephraim and Judah will rise and produce kings of their nations as part of Israel. And that's going to be like pretty much the most important part of it, but the other stuff is important too, but that's going to be the main importance is Ephraim and Judah. They're going to rise and produce kings of their nations as part of Israel. And remember, this is a blessing. Like Jacob blesses all his 12 sons here. So some of it sounds like, wow, but this is weirdly enough actually a blessing. So it's not supposed to be a completely bad thing. Brings about the ultimate good. So Jacob blesses all 12 sons of Israel and tells them where he is to be buried and, quote, added to my people, end quote. That's what they said that's what they said with all of it. With Ishmael, with Isaac, Ishmael, Abraham, Sarah, they all were added to my people. So he says he buried Leah with Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, and Rebekah. And it's important to note that to be added with my people implies that he has to go somewhere where he will be added to them, and that this place is where he will rejoin his family. Resurrection is implied here. We take our body and put it with our own people, awaiting the day that we rejoin our body and rise from the grave. So he buries Leah there, not Rachel, curiously as well. And this is a pilgrimage site today, and this is not something new to Christianity that we all made up. Jacob also then dies here. So yeah, pilgrimage sites. This isn't something new to Christianity. Judaism has had it ever since the creation of Judaism, right? So I wanted to put on here Israel's 12 constellations. So listed here are the constellations as we usually know them, but I've also put the 12 tribes of Israel as the constellations. And we should note that this differs a lot and is not seen universally in Judaism, but in general, this would be the constellations. Like Asher is most of the time a tree. Reuben is sometimes waters, but sometimes he's a man. Benjamin is depicted as a wolf. And Dan is often a serpent instead of a scorpion. Judah is always a lion. And if you have any info on this or I'm wrong on any of these, let me know, because I find this interesting, but it's hard to find stuff. So a lot of people might know something that I don't with this. So I'd like to learn. I like to learn. So but I'm going to list these so that y'all know like what kind of constellations these do. So Issachar is the constellation of Cancer that we know today. Naphtali is Capricornus. Dan is Scorpio, but the Hebrews see it as a serpent instead of a scorpion, which is interesting. Asher is Sagittarius. Benjamin is Gemini. And also a wolf. Like people saw that as a wolf. So interesting. Ephraim and Manasseh, the two horns of the Taurus. So you probably know Taurus, but Ephraim and Manasseh, that's what they see them as. Levi is Libra. Gad is Aries. Reuben is Aquarius. And sometimes Reuben isn't water. Sometimes they have it as a man up there, which Aquarius does look like a man up there if you do the constellations that way. So just interesting stuff. Simeon is Pisces. Zebulon is Virgo. And Judah is the lion, which is Leo. That's funny because it doesn't really change throughout the constellations on that one. Like the Greeks and the Romans also saw it as Leo, it seems like. So kind of interesting. But anyways, we're getting to Genesis 50, Jacob and Joshua's deaths and burial. Genesis is epilogue. So we're getting to the end here. So verses 51 through 14. Now Joseph fell on his father's face and wept over him and kissed him. Joseph commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. So the physicians embalmed Israel. 40 days were required for him, for such are the days required for those embalmed. And the Egyptians mourned for him for 70 days. So when the days of his mourning were past, Joseph spoke to the princes of Pharaoh, saying, If now I found grace in your sight, speak in the hearing of Pharaoh, saying, My father made me swear, saying, Behold, in the grave I dug for myself in the land of Canaan, there you will bury me. Now therefore, let me go and bury my father, and I will come back. And Pharaoh said, Go up and bury your father, as he made you swear. So Joseph went up to bury his fathers, and with him went up all the servants of Pharaoh's, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of Egypt, as well as all the house of Joseph, his brothers, and his father's house. Only their sheep and oxen they left in the land of Goshen. There also went up with him both chariots and horses, as it was a very great gathering. They came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond the Jordan, and they mourned there with a great and very solemn lamentation. He observed 7 days of mourning for his father. It was so big that when the inhabitants of the land of Canaan saw the mourning at the threshing floor of Atad, they said, This is the deep mourning of the Egyptians. Therefore it was called the mourning of Egypt, which is beyond the Jordan. Thus his sons did for him just as he commanded them. For his sons carried him to the land of Canaan and buried him in the cave of the field of Machpelah, opposite Mamre, which Abraham brought from Ephron the Hittite as property for a burial place. After he buried his father, Joseph returned to Egypt, he and his brothers, and all who went up with him to bury his father. Joseph has Israel embalmed because he plans to take Jacob back to Canaan. So he asks Pharaoh first. He allows it. Israel and Egypt both mourn for Jacob and Israel. And it is noted that it was such a big funeral that Canaanites took notice of it. Whereas Pharaoh here allows Joseph to go, the Pharaoh of Exodus will not let them go. So, verses 15 through 26. When Joseph's brothers saw that their father was dead, they said, Perhaps Joseph will hate us and may actually repay us for all the evil we did to him. So they came to Joseph, saying, Before your father died, he commanded, saying, Thus you shall say to Joseph, I beg you, forgive the injustice of your brothers and their sin, for they did evil to you. Now forgive the injustice of the servants of God, of the God of your father. And Joseph wept when they spoke to him. Then his brothers also went and fell down before his face, and they said, Behold, we are your servants. So Joseph said to them, Do not be afraid, for I belong to God. But as for you, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, in order to bring it about as it is to this day, to save many people alive. Now therefore do not be afraid. I will provide for you and your households. Thus he comforted them and spoke to their heart. Joseph dwelt in Egypt, he and his brothers. Joseph then lived 110 years. Joseph saw Ephraim's children to the third generation, and the children of Machir, the son of Manasseh, were also brought up on Joseph's knees. Then Joseph said to his brothers, I'm about to die, but God will surely visit you and bring you out of this land to the land God swore to our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Thus Joseph took an oath from the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and you will carry my bones from here. So Joseph died, being 110 years old. They embalmed him and put him in a coffin in Egypt. So the brothers fear that Joseph will take revenge on them, so they fall before him. Joseph, however, comforts all of them and says, Your evil intent God used to bring ultimate good. Joseph forgives them as God forgives. And this is what we believe about theodicies. Like, evil intentions, God's going to use to bring ultimate good. So, very important there. So Joseph also says in his final words that I'm about to die, but God will visit you and bring you out of Egypt and back to Canaan. So he tells the Israelites to bring his bones back there. The Egyptians embalm him. Did I say Egyptians? He tells the Israelites to bring his bones there. The Egyptians embalm him and place him in an Egyptian coffin. So, God's going to come back and tell them to go back to Canaan at some point. And we know that's going to happen in Exodus. So in conclusion, the life that began in paradise verses chapters 2, verses 8, ends the Genesis for us in a coffin in Egypt. Adam's sin brought mortality and death into the world, but Christ, the second Adam, came and trampled death by death and opened the gates of heaven to us. When he returns, death shall cease and be no more, and the dead in the tombs will be restored and be bestowed of life. that ends the prologue to Genesis. So, yeah, so we are done with Genesis. So I hope you have, if you've been watching this, I hope you have gotten something out of this. I hope you've learned some stuff. That's been my intention with this podcast, this whole Genesis series. That's been my intention with it. So, if you like it, if you like this, hit like, subscribe, comment. Like, tell me if I'm doing good. Tell me if I'm doing wrong. Right. Um, and because I enjoy the feedback, I love learning. I love learning about this stuff. So, and we will begin Exodus because I'm going to continue this Torah thing. I'm going to keep going through the Old Testament actually. So, yeah, just this is going to be I think this is a good podcast, but let me know. So this will be the last podcast for a little while till I get started on Exodus, and I'm working on it now, but like takes a while for me to create, stuff. So thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. We will be doing more podcasts, and yeah, I hope it'll be good. I hope you all enjoy it. So thank you. God bless you, and I will see you all next time. Thank you.